I think there's a younger audience. I think there's a more female biased audience. Definitely, when I'm having conversations with people, there's even some of my buddies' wives are saying, "Oh yeah, I watch Formula One now." I said, "Well, that's funny. You never used to watch it, but oh yeah, well, now I watch it." But I'm not sure that they're always watching the racing. I think they're more interested in what's going on with the drivers and the understanding of what's in the background. And that's really what Netflix has done. It's opened up a whole new world. So yeah, anything like that is always going to be great for the sport, and it's always going to be something that's going to up the levels in terms of value. So we've certainly seen that. I mean, you'd almost say that some of these F1 teams now, with these $1 billion plus valuation put on them, some of that's down to what's been supplied by Netflix. Probably more than anything, actually, the fact that my dad was a second-hand car dealer. So as a kid, I've been brought up with cars. I was always around them, always loved cars. And it was only really the local sort of motorized sport in my area, because I lived rurally, was scrambling, motocross. There was kind of a natural progression of me getting onto a scramble bike and doing something. But after doing bikes and being quite successful as a schoolboy, I kind of still hankered after having extra two wheels, needed those stabilizers. So the car was really where I wanted to be. And it was only a family friend that sort of took me into understanding what motor racing was all about. It took me to a local circuit and I watched some car racing. And that really was the inspiration of saying, right, this is something that I'd really like to get involved in. My family had no background whatsoever in motor racing. So complete new journey, and one that thankfully worked out to be quite a positive outcome in the end. I think, the big teams are big, not just in terms of personnel, in terms of the volume of personnel, but that normally is one of the big factors. It's the quality of personnel. And I think that's the key thing. And it's from, driver all the way down. And when you look at how big teams operate, when they've got the likes of an Adrian Newey, when you've got somebody like that who is steering the ship, from a design perspective, and then you've got, say, like a Zach Brown, who's the commercial and, leadership guy in sort of a team principal role. These are the guys that, are really at the cutting edge, and when you get that level of individual and you combine it, and hopefully it gels, and that's the really important factor, the gelling of all those people, and that then produces something that in material form that is actually a really competitive race car. They become a powerful operation, and that's really what you got to at Red Bull. That's exactly what it is. So, could there be personnel changes there? Could there be effects that actually have a ripple effect and start to have an outside effect on the performance of the car? Yeah, there's some possibilities of that. It's no different to other sports. You see it in football all the time. Yeah, when the manager's sacked and the backroom staff go and a whole different sort of production theatre is put in place, sometimes it cripples the team, or sometimes it actually lifts them because they've got a new challenge and a new way of doing things, and sometimes results come. So F1 isn't any different from that perspective. I think preparation in terms of what we did before the 24 hours. We did a couple of 36-hour tests. We did something most teams didn't do back then, and we put in the time and effort and made sure that as a collaboration of drivers and also as a team, we sort of really maximize what the opportunity was. And a lot of that is just down to like prep. It's to finish first, first you must finish, and a lot of that is down to the preparation side. And I have to say, Peugeot back then was led by a guy called Jean Todt, and Jean Todt was the guy that went on with Schumacher at Ferrari and then led the FIA. He had a great understanding of people and a great way of getting the best out of them, and that was one of those key areas of Peugeot back then, who were a successful sports car team in their own right, let alone winning Le Mans when we did. So I would say, from a personal point of view, the lap as a driver would be the best lap I've ever done in a race car, and I hold that really, is one of my personal achievements, because I know what went on at that time, and I knew that I didn't have any references. So when I did the actual lap, I had zero reference of understanding what the car was going to do, how it was going to actually approach the corner, and in what state I was going to come out the other end if I did. So the pole lap was a completely reactive lap. So yeah, that's right up there for me. In terms of career achievement, I would then say Le Mans is right up there as well, because every driver, don't care who they are or what they are, would still love to have Le Mans 24 hours on the CV with winner over the top of it. So yeah, I'll take that one and rest on my laurels with that as well. Listen, I think at the end of it all, racing drivers are, people that don't do it because they're getting hit over the helmet to say you must go around in circles. They do it because they want to do it and they're passionate about it. And actually, it's a challenge. It's a challenge between driver and machine, and trying to extract the most and pushing yourself to go to the limit and beyond. And when you go to the limit and beyond and pull it back, that's the really rewarding part. In doing so, it's quite high risk, and sometimes things go wrong, either your own doing or technical reasons. I had a big one in '96 when I was doing IndyCar because of a technical problem, brake failure. But I could have pulled the plug and said, I don't want to do it anymore. But actually, the burning desire inside me to keep going was enough to sort of go back and start racing again. And I think that is the case for racing drivers. If they ever get to the stage where they are fearful or concerned about anything, that's the time when they hang up the gloves and helmet, because not only are you unsafe to yourself, you're unsafe to the others on the circuit as well. So yeah, but if you get to that point, it's probably gone beyond where you're going to be competitive, so you need to go and do the right thing. Oh, it's come on no end. I mean, it's huge, incremental changes in where the safety factor is. I know during my career, I think I lost 12 colleagues, from junior racing all the way to the top. If you look at the fatality sort of levels now, they're, few and far between. And most of that is down to circuit safety, which is really enhanced, and safety within the cars as well, where we've got hands device, we've got the shroud that goes around the cockpit of the race cars now, and the strength of what they have, incorporated into them. It really is, leaps and bounds. So it's no longer like the 50s and 60s where the things used to blow up and catch on fire and you lose a driver every other race. Things have really changed for the better. But as it says on the back of the ticket, it's, motorsport is dangerous, so it's still got that element. Kind of get asked this quite a lot, actually, by a lot of drivers, and I think I would say to them, self-belief. Believe in yourself and believe that you can do it, because if you're not in that frame of mind, then you don't actually put that out there for other people to buy into it. So throw enough mud at the wall, some of it will stick. Don't give up. Get out there and do what you do best, and believe in yourself. And make sure that, you drag everyone along with you, because, there's half a chance that you might actually get lucky and get to the top. And cream always rises, yeah. Old sayings are still the best ones, and they always make sense. So the talent's there, it will show through.